with ease. See the world with ease. Learn as you travel. Travel with ease. Travel with ease. Stress-free journeys. Your education. Travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge need discovered. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, plan it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Yeah. With Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace, no education and travel.
Your visa says 30 days, you stay 35. You think it's a small mistake. At the airport, you're stopped, fined, and handed a ban. Today, we are exposing what really happens when you overstay your visa. Good day, listeners. Welcome to Travel with Ease, your guide to smarter and safer travel. I am Abiodun Samson, and today we are addressing an issue many people ignore until it causes real problems. Let me put this to you. What happens when you stay beyond your visa period? Is it only a fine or does it go deeper? So today, we'll focus on the visa overstay and the real impact it has on travelers.
See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, plan it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Yeah. With Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace, no education and travel simple. Travel with ease, stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, knowledge needs to stop it. See the world the smarter way. Travel with me. World with ease. Learn as you travel. Travel with ease. Travel with ease. Stress-free journeys. Your education. Travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge need discovered. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, plan it right. Education and travel and travel simple. Travel with ease, stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, knowledge needs to stop it. See the world a smarter way.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're right on time. It's still Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And today we want to know what happens if you overstay your visa. And joining me on the phone line is a travel expert who will break it down clearly. And I would be welcoming Mr. OLAMIDE into the program. And as we'll introduce and start off on the topic, what actually happens when you overstay your welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Ola. Hello?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good evening. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you from here. From here.
Yeah, so good evening. How are you doing today? Thanks
We,
for having me on the program again. It's nice being here.
all right, thank you. You are very welcome. All right, so I want to start simple. What does it mean to overstay a visa?
Yeah, it's this a really, I mean, this is really a great topic to talk about this evening. When you talk about what it means to overstay a visa, I think we should first start with or clarifying what a visa should mean to people. It might be that what people think it is actually not what it is.
Okay.
Then they can now understand what it means to overstay their visa. You know, a lot of people think that when you have a visa, you are now free to enter into the country and do as you want till whatever time you have on your visa is due. But sometimes, or unfortunately, that may not be what a visa means. When you are given a visa to come into a country, it's not like you are given a pass. You are given a pass to come to come visit or possibly whatever you are going there for. It's a permit that allows you to enter into another person's border, or another country from where you are. Now, permit that allow you to go to the border, not into the country. That's another thing. You have, just like you have a key to come to a house. So once you enter into the gate, permission to enter into that country now rely or depends on your response to the gatekeeper. That's what it means. So now when you have a visa, I think we are now trying to get where a visa means. It's an invitation for you to come. Okay, come over. Now when you get there, the point of entry, they are going to have to check you in. So that's where the visa ends its job. You have a visa that takes you to the next border. Now before you enter into the country, there's a person that will have to take your visa from you, do some checking on the system, and now issue back to you, a time frame that you have to spend in their country. So
Okay.
that is where it begins. Yes, that's where it begins. And that's the job of the visa. It has expired on that spot. Let me give you an instance. If you are given a visa that says your visa expires um, July 2026, for instance, it
Okay.
means from now to 2026, you should travel from wherever you are into this country. From now to July 2026, you should be in that country. So when you now get to that country, now they will now determine how long you're going to be staying. It depends on the country yourself. Now you are allowed to come into the country from that point of entry. Now when you enter, you are given maybe 2 months or 3 months of visits to stay. Now forget about what you are carrying in your hand that says it expires July. Now you are given 3 months. So you cannot stay beyond that 3 months in that country. Anything after that 3 months, you are overstaying your visa, and that is where the penalty will have to start counting.
So what does it actually
So
mean to
majority
overstay
of
one's visa? Maybe you enjoy the ambience of the place and the environment and all of that. What does it now mean if you overstay one, if one overstayed his or her visa?
what it means if you have overstayed your time in that country, what it means is you are now actually beating their law or staying there illegally. That's what it means.
Okay.
It means you are staying in that country
Illegally.
illegally, which comes with yes, which comes with penalty.
Hmm.
Penalty, and this penalty depends on the region or the country you are at the time.
Hmm.
So what matters to this country might not matter to the other country. The penalty that applies here might not apply there. So this is what people need to know. People need to get educated about this. A lot of people don't know. Some people will just say, "Oh, I have 5 years visa." On the 5 years, possibly is a multiple entry visa. You can go within that same period of, within that 5 years, you can go in, come out again. But when you are going in, mind you, you have a time frame. Let's take, for instance, United States as an example. If US give you visa of 5 years to come into their country, yes, they say 5 years validity. Now, at the time you enter, before you enter into the country, at the point of entry, they are going to give you what they call, is now electronically done, like I-94. It is online. You have to log into that portal to see how long you have to stay. It will be stated clearly how long you have to stay on this your 5 years visa. And it's a multiple entry. So if you refuse to stay at that point, if you refuse to leave at that point, thinking you have 5 years, you're already overstaying, and then there's a penalty for this. And this applies to all other countries. So it is illegal to stay in a country where you are not supposed to be at the time you are there. It is illegal. So that is what it means to overstay.
Okay, I will be cutting you from there. What are the consequences if one overstays their visa?
Consequences. Yeah. It depends. Just like I said, it depends. Like, let's say, for instance, also, let's use another country. Let's say you are in the Gulf region. We're in the Gulf region, let's say Qatar. If you stay in Qatar and then you overstay your welcome in the vicinity of Qatar, and then you are leaving, at the time you want to leave, they are friendly with it. You can choose to decide to go without paying the fine. You have to pay fine. You can choose to go without paying the fine. They will not stop you, provided you are leaving yourself. They are not the one who arrest you, trying to deport you. Okay, you got your ticket, you walk into the airport, you want to go, they let you go. But the penalty is you are going to be on ban.
Seriously?
You
If
cannot, oh yes, you are going to be on ban. You cannot enter into that country for at least, I think, minimum period of 3 years. It depends on how long you stay. You know. However, if you want to pay yourself out, you have to pay. They will calculate by the number of days you stay because each day comes with a day fine. They will calculate the number of stay. If you have stayed a year, they calculate day by day till a year, and then you
360.
have to pay for that. Oh yes, and then you pay for that. You pay for 365 days fine. It depends. Like in Dubai, they charge 100 dirham
Okay.
per the number of stay you have, number of days you've stayed over there, and then you wouldn't be allowed to leave. Once you leave, I guarantee you, when you apply again, they are going to give you visa because you have already cleared yourself out. Yes, I can give you a clear example of this. I was fortunate to assist a brother who in Qatar wanted to, exit the country. He stays in the country for 1 year without visa, and he needed to step out of the country because he's getting a job, but he can work. So you are just staying there. Nobody will hire you. So he needed to take to go out and come back. But you can't do that without paying. So he doesn't have a bank account in that country. I had to help him with my card. We paid the fine, and then he leaves. He got his visa 2 weeks after he left the country. He's currently back in Qatar working. Now, that's my point. So if you are able to do this, you can be allowed to come back. If you are not able to do this, you cannot allow to enter that country. It depends, like I said, it depends. And most of these Gulf countries, they share database, just like USA, Canada, UK, New Zealand, they also share border. They share, they share database. So whatever apply here, apply on their side also.
Oh,
And just like I said, penalties varies.
all right.
Penalties varies.
All right,
So
Mr.
that's
Ola,
it.
we'll have to stop here for a bit. We'll go for a break right now. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stopped. The program is still Travel with Ease on your dial 101.5 FM. Let's take a moment.
See the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with peace. Oh, travel with peace. Stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge makes you discovery. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Day or night. Your trusted voice on radio.
To Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM, and the topic we are looking at is what happens if you overstay your visa. And from our guest this afternoon, he has explained the meaning of you having a visa and what that visa covers. And for you having a visa, you also have a time frame in which you can stay in a particular country. That was what he just explained right now. Then I was asking him that if a person, peradventure, you overstay your visa, what are you supposed to do? And he said the best bet is for you to pay for every fee, every fine that you have been given. And if you walk out freely from that country without paying the fine, that you might be banned from that country. Yes. And if you stay for over a year, that means you pay per day. That is 365 days if it's a year. So you wouldn't want to stay in a country being an illegal immigrant. It's dangerous. Yes, it's very, very dangerous. And we will be continue from there because I know you might want to have a lot of questions to ask. This afternoon on the program Travel with Ease, the visa thing is 6 months and you have time frame. So I will be asking him some other questions that might trigger whatever you have in mind. And do not forget that you can be part of this conversation on Facebook on JDN Radio 101.5 FM and also on YouTube on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. I'm also live on TikTok as Travel with His. Yes, and you can listen to us on Radio Garden on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And the website is also there where you can join us anywhere you are in the world on www.jdnradio1015.com. You can listen to us loud and clear anywhere you are. So right now we've talked about visa validity and the length of stay, which he explains that when you get to that border, that is where you get to, enter some details. Then you'll be given a time frame of how long you are going to stay. So right now we'll continue on this what happens when you overstay your visa. There are a lot, and one of the things I hold on to what he said is that it is always good to act immediately, that do not delay further. Do not delay further. Make sure you contact the necessary people that would help you. And if there is fine, make sure you pay the required fine so that when you apply it granted without any delay. So right now we'll be looking at what we have next is that how do you avoid overstaying? Mr. Ola, are you there?
Mr. Ola, are you there?
Hello?
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 All
Can you hear
right.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you.
So, just like we were talking, I
How
was saying that
did you get what I said?
hello.
Hello, did you get what I said?
Yes, your question was how do you avoid it, right?
Yes, how do you avoid overstaying?
Okay, so let's use Canada in this case as a case study.
Okay.
So take once you are in Canada
Okay.
about to expire, you can extend your stay instead of letting it expire. You know, you are allowed to extend your stay without going out. So, but within that extension, if the process is still on and it didn't finish until your visa expire, it's going to be like it's on you at that point because you have already effect the extension. This for people strictly in Canada. You know, the law will not catch up with you because you are already there and your show, I mean, your what's it called is on, your process is on, you know, in order to get your extension. So the law will not catch up with you. But if you wait, if you have to wait until the visa is expired, now this is a big deal. You know, it's a big deal for you because you are going to see majority of people keep applying for visa even when they have traveled before, they have travel history and they keep getting refusal. They don't even know why. They don't know why they keep getting refusal because they have a past record that is not good for them. We have already created a bad impression in the heart of the countries we are trying to approach. You know, fails to there's the best way to avoid extension or the best way to avoid what's it called again overstay is to act immediately. The moment you notice the visa is going to expire, is either you pack your bag and leave and then reapply, or you find a way to extend your visa if the country allows you. If you're in the Gulf, some of them will have to ask you to leave. Just go to the neighboring country. Probably you apply for the neighboring country visa, you go there and then you return. Your extension can apply. And then in some countries, you have to leave completely. Just like the moment you notice your visa is about to expire and you have a lot of places you want to visit in your life. So if you have to damage your record by overstaying in a particular country that have relationship with other countries you have in mind, then you're already damaging your record. So it is better you leave. That's the best advice I'll give to you here.
Okay, so for different countries, let's say countries like the UK, the USA, Canada, or UAE, and the Schengen, how do they undo
Oh yes.
how do they undo overstays? How? Do they take it lightly, or
For
they
the
let you walk away and then place a ban,
no
or
no country no country ever let you take it lightly with you when it comes to overstay. You are stepping on their rights. You know, unlike when we speak about the UK, unlike the USA and all, their own ban is 10 years, 10 years straight. You know, that's if you overstay in their country, and it can even be more. It depends on how long you have stayed in their country. You get 10 years. So every country have their rules applying when it comes to overstay, and no country ever take it lightly. No country. So you should not just go. The best thing you could do is ask questions. Just like I said, a lot of people are carrying 5 years US visa, thinking they have validity of 5 years because it's not written on US visa. If it is a UK visa, it is written there that you have 6 months, and that 6 months is straight 6 months. They mean it when they say 6 months. You have 6 months. You spend 6 months in UK. But when it comes to US, they don't even write it. They just tell you your visa is valid from so year to so year. You need to dig. There is a website where you can check your stay. I mean, your validity of stay in USA. And same as other countries, let's say Qatar also. For Qatar, they give you 3 months when they are giving you either work visa or visiting visa. They give you 3 month visit. That's what they write on it. It's a visit. At the point of entry in Qatar, for instance, they are going to stamp something on your passport. I mean, your visa expired. That paper you are carrying, that electronic visa you are carrying, expired the moment you get to the border. And then they place something in your passport. On that, they write clearly on it you have 3 months to either change your status or you leave. So which means when you enter into that country, within now and 3 months, you have to process your resident permit, which will enable you to stay for another 1 year renewable. You understand? 1 year renewable. Or after that 3 months, you leave because you have to pay for the fine or you leave forever. Or you live with a ban, sorry. And if you live with a ban, I'm afraid nobody will trust you with their visa anymore within the Gulf. Same applies to every other person. So the best way, stay out of their country if you are not going to abide by the rule. And if you want to remain illegal, there are a lot of people staying there illegally. At the end of the day, you will leave and never get access to come back into that country. So
Mm.
that's just the truth.
So, is there any grace period after your stay expires, or does penalty start immediately?
For most of the country, it starts the next day.
So, there is no grace period
For
like
most,
1 week before or
at,
after the
at all,
expiration.
at all. You know, this is where it begins. When you are applying for your visa, especially those who goes on a visit, they clearly ask you, how long do you want to stay? They clearly ask you, how long do you want to stay during the filling of your form? Some say, just 3 weeks, I'm going to spend my leave. You know, just 2 weeks, I want to spend my leave. This is what you say to them clearly during your form filling. Ask all of them. They will tell you, most of the agents who are helping you fill, or those who are doing it themselves, they saw it clearly when they are filling their form. How
Sorry,
long are you going to
sorry
stay
to
here?
cut you there. What about those that are relocating?
Yeah, if you are relocating, I already mentioned something close to that when I was speaking about Qatar. If you are going into Qatar to reside there, that's a resident visa.
Mm-hmm.
At the point of entry, when you arrive at the border, you know what you come with. Let me even explain from scratch. What you come into the country with is a visiting visa. That's what they will write to you. They will say you have your visa for 3 months. If you declare it, there will be a place that it will be stated in it that it's a work visa that enable you to use just one way ticket. Don't forget. If you are on a work visa or a resident visa, you can only use one-way ticket. But if you are coming on a visit, you buy two-way, to and fro. You understand? So
Okay.
now, if you are entering into that country with a work visa or a resident visa, the moment you enter into the border, they will give you a period of time. It will be stamped on your passport on that border that you are going to stay from now till so time. That's the grace time you have to apply for your residency. If you have to go for medical, you have to go for it within that same period. If you have to go for capturing, you have to go for this within that same period. You know, because a lot of countries will not entertain you to remain in their country without doing all these cross examinations. They want to be sure you are able to live with people. You are not carrying a disease that is going to impact others. You know, so you have to undergo all this medical and police check and all and all. So you have like 3 months period to do all this, which is more than enough for you to do. Now, after these 3 months, if you are still not able to get your ID, then my friend, you are staying illegally in that country. So there's no grace period. There's no grace period. Once it expires, it expires. From that day on, it begins the count.
All right. Thank you so much for that clarity. Now, my next
Mm.
question is, you said for UK they have 10 years ban, right? For USA, is
Yes.
it the same 10 years or 5 years? For Canada, is it the same year? For UAE and the Schengen, is it the same year across? Or they have different ban for different offense? You know, some people, it might not be even that they overstayed. It might be another offense entirely. Or is it only overstay that
Uh,
can give a traveler a ban?
yeah. There are a lot of other things that you could do. You know, when you have a visa to stay in a country, that visa does not mean it's not revocable. It's revocable if you ever work or beat their law, or you know, if you ever do whatever you are not permitted to do. The fact that you have a visiting visa to stay in a place for 3 months does not permit you to drive a car, does not permit you to walk. You know, you are a visitor here. You are meant to spend your money. You are meant to book an hotel and all and all. To stay, you are meant to. If you are visiting a family, you are meant to just stay there, enjoy your stay, do little or two shoppings you want to do, leave once you are done. Or if you are on tourism, visit here and there. So there are a lot of things you can do that can warrant you different kind of penalty. You understand? So as far as this is concerned, if you have beat the time grace that you have to stay in a country, there's a penalty applied for different countries. So
Okay.
for USA,
Okay.
yes, for USA, if you have beat their stay period, if you have beat your own stay period within you fail to leave at the time you're supposed to leave, they don't even warn you. There is no letter, there is nothing, you're not going to get anything, no warning, because it's clearly stated. As soon as you leave, you are not coming back. They are going to ban you straight
Forever or for a period of of 5 years or
for
10
a
years?
period of time, And again, you can solicit. You could get a lawyer who is going to speak on your behalf to clear some to clear it before you leave. You understand? But the best is don't beat it at all. Don't beat their law.
For USA.
Yes.
Okay. What about for Canada?
For Canada, just like I said, you can apply for extension.
For
If you beat
extension.
it, yes, you can apply for extension before it expires. But the moment you beat it and it expires in your hand, you also face the same thing. You face a ban.
A ban. Is it going to be five
Yeah.
years or 10 years or forever?
It depends. You could have 5 years, you could have 10 years. And
Okay.
even if it is one day, visa ban is not something you should be having
Hmm.
because it's going to be having a negative impact on your next trip to anywhere else, especially those five eyes. Those
Hmm.
five eyes, I mean the Australia, Canada, USA, New Zealand, they can see through each other's database. They can see through each other's database. So, and once you give a room for somebody to doubt you, the next person will doubt you also. Same goes for the Schengen. They have 29 countries around. So the moment you fail you get a ban with France, you are getting it automatically all around because you can't say, it's just the France that is banning me or that is excusing me. Let me try Netherlands. It applies because they are within the Schengen region.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
audience at home, I've asked few questions on if you overstay your visa, what can actually happen. And if you want to be part of the conversation this afternoon on the topic, what happens when you overstay your visa, you can call into the studio line on 070 48001015 and 080 You can ask questions that are bothering you. The travel expert is in the house and you will be able to ask one or two questions that you may have. Do not forget that the number to call is 070 48001015 and 080 is the number to call. It's still Travel with Ease on your dial 101.5 FM. Let's take a moment.
Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with peace. Oh, travel with peace. Stress-free journeys. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge meets discovery. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. With Abiod and Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Travel with ease. Your education and travel simply from visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Travel with ease. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Stress-free journeys. Your education and travel simplified. With Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, with Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Travel with ease. With Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JD.
Welcome back. It's still Travel with Ease on your dial 101.5 FM. And we are still looking at what happens if you overstay your visa. And we've been getting one or two tips on what to do so you do not attract a fine or a ban or even deportation or even your visa rejection in the future. And also you trying on having legal issues when it comes to your visa. When it comes to all of these, you should know that that goes beyond paying money. So you shouldn't let it get to that. And like you said before, you said that if you are applying, that it will be stated that how long would you be staying. And I asked him that if you will be relocating, what will you be doing? He said if you'll be relocating, that means you'll be stating it as a resident visa or you've gotten a work permit. And there they will let you know how long you can stay. So if you are relocating, it should be a one-way ticket. And if you are visiting, you should have your ticket that will take you there and also bring you back. And there are a lot of things that applies to overstaying your visa. You know, some people can overstay and they don't know what to do, but it is always good that would help you so you can act immediately. You don't delay it further so that it will not affect your future travel plans. And you should know that your visa, like what he said, gives you access. But like I will say that your discipline will keep your record clean. What is discipline? If you are staying there for 7 days, let it be 7 days. Do not extend. Do not start, how do we call this? You saying that you are enjoying the stay, you want to pay your money, it's your money you're spending and every of it. Make sure you think about your visa. If it's possible for you to set an alarm when it's going to expire, maybe 2 days or a reminder, please do it. It's very, very important so that it will not affect your future plans. And it is always good that you respect your stay duration. Yes, very, very important. And before we go on break, I was asking him that what is the duration of ban from different countries, from UK to USA to Canada and Schengen, that what are the duration of the period. And he was explaining. So he still wants to emphasize more on some points on that, on the ban, especially for the USA. He said he has some other things to add to it. Hello, Mr. Ola, are you there?
Yes, I'm here with you. Thanks for
Okay.
having me around.
All right, you're welcome back.
Yeah. So on the US, as we were talking about, if you overstay in the US, if you overstay one day, they are one of the um, most serious when it comes to discipline in terms of overstay when it comes to your visa. Okay. If you are to stay, for instance, 1 month, and then you stay a day after 1 month, just a day after 1 month, no warning, no letter, no explanation, you got 3 years ban. Three straight years ban.
Serious?
And then if you, oh yes, and then if you stay over 180 days, just know for sure you are getting 10 years ban. So this is the clarity on that. So you should take note when you are doing a particular thing. You should know the penalty. You should know what you are doing. You should prepare for it. You should prepare for the consequences.
All
So
right. So here we have some
yeah.
questions. This person is Biola from Akpata. She said that, please, does this ban on detention of turn on visa affect African countries too? I mean, does African ban traveling for overstaying too? This
Oh
person
yes.
for yeah.
I get I get the question. The question is, do you get to overstay in African countries, right?
Yes, do you get to overstay in African countries? Please hold on, let's pick
You
this
get to,
call. Please, can you please hold on? Hello?
okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good
Okay.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm OLABODE from Bodija.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Jide.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the program and for the presenter too. I mean the person responding as well.
I guess.
An expert.
Okay.
Yes. I could see that he's been teaching us a lot of information about these foreign countries. But my concern is this. The expatriates coming to Nigeria, do they have any limit of stay? And what happened to them when they overstay? Does Nigeria ban them as well? I just want to know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jide, for that question. All right, you have that question, Mr. Ola.
No, I didn't. Can you please put it? You know, I'm on a call with you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, he said that the expatriate that comes to Nigeria, that do they
Yes.
also pay for overstaying if they come to Nigeria? That's his own question. That if you could overstay in their country, if they come here, do they also pay fines for overstaying, or do they ban them as
Many
well?
many people do not know that Nigeria even have a cell in in immigration offices.
They have
We
what?
have they have cell where they keep people who violate our international rules in Nigeria. The immigration have a cell where when you overstay or you misbehave in Nigeria or you overrule or you match our law in an inappropriate way, we have a place they keep you.
Hmm.
You know, so we have a working rule when it comes to international standards of visa application and all that. The same way you apply to other countries when you are visiting, same way you apply to Nigeria when you're about to come here. Same way you have to state your reasons clear. You know, same way you have to come. I want to visit Nigeria. I want to visit. Same way the deliberation will go over and over before the when it comes to African countries in general, not just Nigeria. So I use Nigeria as a case study because that's where I'm from, right? And I'm certain that we have where they put those who violate our rules in Nigerian immigration offices or whatever, quarters. We have a cell where they put anyone that violates. Do you get my point now? So Nigerians maintain the same standard with every other places, and then you have a fine to pay when you overstay or you even get into our country illegally. I cannot completely tell you that people are not coming without visa. Same way people are getting into other countries, even as big as USA, people are still finding their way into the country illegally. Get me right. But then it doesn't mean they are not all those things attached to it also. I believe I've answered your question.
Yes, then the first message I read out, I said this person is asking if there are overstaying in African countries. Do they apply African country to African country? Do they give them a ban?
I think I just almost answered the two of them together.
Oh,
I cannot categorically say exactly what the ban or the rule says. I'm sorry to say, when it comes to Nigerians or some African countries, But then there is definitely a rule applied to all these things. Sovereign nation, you can't come in there without permission, and then you cannot just stay as you like. In fact, you cannot work in Nigeria that I know for sure without having the permission to do so. As an expatriate who is not in Nigeria, coming into Nigeria, you must have your permit. You must have a reason to come. If you're coming to visit, there's a different visa. If you're coming to work, there's a different visa. And that's how it is.
okay. So we have another message here. He said, this presentation sounds like a life story of a friend in Lagos who had been banned by England for 10 years now, since 2023. And he said his name is Tunji from Songo. Then I have another message here that says that, please, for a fresh traveler, what is the best number of days to stay to avoid overstaying or being banned at first visit? And this is from Bingpe from UCH.
Okay, being paid, the number of stay to stay in a particular country depends on number of stay you apply for if you are going on a visiting. And then it depends on the number of days they give you or months given to you. You know. So I cannot categorically tell you that this is the number, go and stay 5 days and come back. No. But it is advisable that the number of days given to you, please don't stay beyond it. So ask questions. Once you have your visa, ask to know the number of days you're given. At the point of entry, it is always clearly, given. Once you are entering, they will stamp in your passport. On your passport, it's going to be there. Some of you who have traveled can confirm what I'm saying. They will stamp in your passport that is going to expire when you are supposed to leave this place. If you have traveled before, open your passport today and check it. You will see it there. So these things are always clearly stated. They are always passing the message clearly right. And as for UK, it is clearly written on it, that the validity of your visa is so day. So most of the countries state it. So if you apply for 3 months in Schengen, if you have spent how many days in France, how many days in Netherlands, make sure you are calculating it within the number of days you are given. And it is advisable you leave even days before the expiration of your visa. This is very, very healthy for you in the case of future references. If you are going to be applying to other countries, those visas as your travel history. It is best you leave before the time so that you will be a good traveler. You have a good record that, oh no, he never ever stays anywhere. It's better for you.
All right. So this last question says, what if the traveler did not eventually travel with the visa again? Let's say this person has been given the visa once and was unable to travel again till the visa period expires. Can it affect applying again in another time? This is from Mr. Shegu from Okiado.
Mr. Shegu, I have a case like this. If you have been that was given Canada visa in 2026 this year,
okay,
they gave him 3 years straight. Yes, he didn't use it. No matter how I tried to persuade him, why don't you travel? You have this visa. I have so many things I'm doing right now. I cannot use it until that visa expires. Now, what that means is that, if you ever waste that visa, next time you are going to be applying, do not forget to reference that visa because they have the record.
Okay.
You have to reference it and then give them detailed reasons why you were not able to travel within that bracket of time and why you intend to make your trip now. This is the only thing that can convince them that you are actually serious about traveling. So
what if you've used it once? Is there if you've used it once, maybe you traveled once and you didn't go again till it expires?
Oh, you mean if it's a multiple entry visa, right?
Yeah, if it's a multiple entry visa, maybe let's say for a year or 2 years, and you went once.
That's not a big deal. If it's a multiple entry visa, and you have used it once and you are not able to go again, nobody is compelling you to use it and over, keep traveling. No, now.
Okay.
Nobody is asking you to keep going. No, that's not the case. If you have used it once, if you didn't use it at all, it's still not a problem though, but you just need to reference it. Even when you have used it also, you need to reference it, because like been giving, if you have gone for not even visa, if they've not even issued visa at all, you've gone for capturing once. It remains in their database till another 10 years. So which means next time you're going to apply, you have to reference the last capturing you did. So which means you have to always mention that, okay, I was given this visa at so time in your cover letter. I was given visa at so time, and the reason for this was, the reason why I was not able to use it was this, was that. Explain, give them the reasons, and then let them see reasons why you need it this time around, and you're ready to make your move.
All right.
Probably showing them you're readily booked.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ola. Our time is fast spent. So, what is your parting words to everyone that is planning to travel and the advice on them not overstaying their visa in 2 minutes because our time is fast spent?
Oh my God. So, if you need to travel, please use the country's website. Don't fail to read. Read between the lines is very important for your application. Don't just rush. And if you're ever using anybody to do your application, please get your form and see what is filled for you. Be certain that the number of days filled for you is the accurate number of days you want to spend. And if you ever book your ticket to go, don't forget as a visitor you are booking return ticket. Don't fail to leave at the time you said you are going to leave, or don't fail to leave at the time your visit expires. Otherwise, you are going to be risking ban. And if you are getting a ban, you are risking yourself never leaving your country for any other place because most of these countries are one way or the other interconnected. So be certain of what you're doing and behave right, represent Nigeria well anywhere you find yourself around the world. Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ola, for this, and we hope to see you again on the next episodes.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you. So you have it there on the topic. What happens when you overstay your visa? We has given us numbers of advices on what we can do. That it's important that you read in between the lines. Do not just assume that everything is fine once you get your visa. There are still some other things that are attached to it. And on that note, I will be signing off on the topic and also on the program Travel with Ease, where we help you to travel smarter. And do not forget that it is your companion, your travel companion on radio, on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. To everyone that has been part of this program this afternoon, for Mr. Jide from Bodija, Ipolo called through and asked his questions about what happens to the expatriates that comes to Nigeria. Do they find them if they overstay? And the questions have been answered. And all of these bans that we are talking about applies to every other country, even African countries. Yes, it's just that you don't get to go deep into all of this information because everyone has one or two things that keeps them engaged in one way or the other. So bringing it to you on radio, you know that Nigeria are representing internationally when it comes to bringing people into the country, and also for when we have foreigners applying for a visa. Yes, when we have foreigners applying for a visa. Okay, on that note, I will be saying thank you to everyone that has been part of the program, from the studio engineer, Olamide FAWEMIMO, to the transmitter, that is Big Ben Fadipe and Kayode Olawi. For the social media, we'll be going to Abib, Deborah, and Olatundo. Samuel and Emmanuel are also there. And to everyone that has made this topic a reality this afternoon, to Yeye Bisiduro, Sharo, Joy Akinlulu, Aishat Oyedele, Olabode Makinwa, and also to my guest for joining us, Mr. Ola Emirad. You know, he has expert in so many areas that will be dishing out a lot of things for you on this program, Travel with Ease. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for having JDM on your dial, on your frequency, on your radio. I remain Abiodun Samson till I come your way next week Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for another interesting topic that will make you travel with ease without fear, without you being scared of what is going to happen next. Keep it locked down to the frequency 101.5 FM, the only radio station that is broadcasting for all. Bye.
With Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace, no education and travel simple. Travel with ease, stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified.